Welcome to this special virtual election edition of Leaders in Coffee. Today, we're joined by mayoral candidate Vince Lago. Vice Mayor Lago, welcome to Leaders in Coffee.
Thank you, as always, Ariel. It's a pleasure to be here with all the Gables Insider listeners and people who really enjoy your webpage, which is very informative and always brings the most up-to-date current information in regards to our city beautiful. So thank you for having me today.
Thank you very much. Appreciate the kind words. What motivated you to run for mayor?
You know, I've been serving this community over the last 8 years, and it's been a true pleasure. We've been focusing on transparency with our Open Door Fridays, with our town hall meetings, with our newsletters, and really ensuring that we have boots on the ground addressing the needs and the concerns of not only our business community and our residents, but anybody who's really visiting this community. We want to make this inclusive for everyone. So when I decided to run, I had a great conversation with my wife. She told me we've been serving for years. And let's go and take it to the next level and really see how we can make this as inclusive and bring people into the government so that their voices can be heard and we can listen to what the residents of our community want. So that's the reason why I'm running. This is why I'm serving.
What is your stance on the city's current state of development, and what would you do to address it?
Well, you know, I think right now it's very concerning what we're seeing. You know, again, development is necessary. We need to continue to grow in a manner that benefits this community, our tax base, but we need to be thoughtful. And right now, in my opinion, we've seen several upzonings that to me have not been in the most tasteful fashion. You know, certain things that have happened on US 1, projects, for example, like Miracle Mile, which I voted against, the parking garages on Andalusia, which were considered, I also voted against. The upzoning in North Gables, which I voted against also, which took the density from 50 units to 100, and also you know, the heights for the adjacent project to Christie's, which I think are a little out of scale with the city of Coral Gables, which I also voted against. So what I think we need right now is we need to take a step back, not a step back from development, but a step back from egregious projects which are not in line with what the residents of this community want. We need to make sure, like I did when I fostered that resolution that came before the commission and my colleagues supported me, where every commission meeting has 1 hour of open dialogue and discourse for the residents. We need to make sure, which I know my colleagues agree with me, that we have a lot of abilities for people to engage, but you can never have enough conversation when it comes to development and our community. So we need to take a step back, be thoughtful, and always keep into consideration and account what has made the city so special. Why do we stand out in a positive way when you compare us to other cities? And that has been because since George Merrick envisioned this city and made the first planned community in the state of Florida, it was always about thoughtful development and making sure to protect the city beautiful.
Part of that plan has to do with traffic as well. There is a larger amount of traffic gridlock in the city. What would you do to address our traffic situation?
Well, Mr. Fernandez, as you know, we have to be honest with the residents. You're never going to get rid of the traffic. It's not going to happen. We have hundreds of thousands of cars of people who cut through our city every single day. But, you know, a lot of elected officials or people who are running for office, they feel they're auditioning for a position. I'm not auditioning for a position. I want to get out there and have people understand what I have done on behalf of this community. 2 main points. Number one, it took me 3 years, but I lowered the speed limits in this community to 25 miles an hour in protection of our neighborhoods, our children, our elderly, and our disabled. That has already been implemented. And the second thing that I did was I got an MOU with the county, which allowed us to do a blanket study of traffic calming initiatives throughout the city. We found out the areas of most need, and now we're budgeting and implementing, as you're seeing traffic tables and traffic circles being installed in the city. What we need to do is slow people down. We need people to respect our streets and always be considerate while they drive through the city beautiful. We're not going to be able to close streets because the county doesn't allow us. And I'm a proponent of closing streets, and I will advocate for closing streets. But the county is very rigid and very strong against that. But I will continue to do that. So what we need to do is implement these traffic calming initiatives that basically force people to slow down. Those traffic tables, they work. They're very nice. They're very nicely done. They're done in a Coral Gables fashion. So when you talk about traffic, it's about slowing people down and making them basically have no other choice but to force them that if they're going to use our streets, they're going to be considerate and respectful of the city beautiful.
Residents have voiced their concern over the last few months about the lack of transparency in government and the inaccessibility for resident input. what would you do to improve on that situation?
Well, the first, like I've mentioned before, we do open door Fridays. I start today at 2 o'clock till 6. We've been doing that for years. It's an opportunity for everyone to come in and give their input. We do a town hall meeting on a quarterly basis. We just did it on March 5th. We do a newsletter. We do an open hour conversation in the commission. All these initiatives I'm responsible for. But we can never have enough conversation. We can never have enough interaction and transparency with our residents. So, like I said, the first 100 days, if God willing, I'm elected, I'm going to do 100 days of listening. And those 100 days, I'm going to reach out to all the residents. I'm going to reach out to the business community, the business improvement district, the chamber, any organizations that want to get involved, the PTAs, philanthropic organizations. And what the plan is to get all this information, then put it up on a website, along with an internal audit of the city, and have a discussion and have a very transparent portal where people can see what other people's concerns are and overwhelmingly address those. We need to figure out a way. And we'll never be 100%, but we need to figure out a way where people feel comfortable that when major projects or any projects for any matter come before the city, that people have been made aware. I want people to feel comfortable and be proud of the city beautiful. I know that my office is doing our part to ensure transparency, but I want to make sure that we take this at a citywide perspective. So also another thing that I'm planning on doing is I want to implement my open door Fridays every single month throughout the city. So I want there to be a day once a month where residents, business owners, or anybody who may have an idea, maybe you don't have to be a resident, or organizations can come to the city, sit down with elected officials, sit down with staff in a transparent fashion in the sunshine, and can have their concerns or their ideas heard. That would be a way that you can tell everyone in this community your voice is important and we're here to listen.
What message do you send those voters who are undecided in this race?
Listen, the message that I send is this is a beautiful democracy. This republic, we're blessed to live here. We're blessed to live in the greatest country in the world. It's a first generation American. I ran for public office because I love this country and I love my community. I asked you to go out there and get engaged. Even if you're not going to vote for me, even though I'm asking you to vote for me, go out and vote. Do your duty. Have your voice be heard. I asked you to visit my website, www.votevincelago. I ask you to listen, to visit our website, to visit our social media, to reach out to me. Reach out to me at 305-303-0115. That's my personal cell phone. If you don't want to talk to me, you can write me a text message. Ask me about the issues. Ask me where I stand in regards to sustainability, in regards to fiscal responsibility, in regards to development, traffic, issues that are going to affect this community in the long term. And I want to be that voice that advocates on your behalf.
Vice Mayor Lago, thank you so much for taking the time, and good luck on Election Day.
No, thank you for always being a voice of reason and always being the voice of the residents. And I appreciate what you guys do. Thank you so much. God bless all of you.
Thank you very much. And thank you for watching. Tune in next time for another special election edition of Leaders in Coffee.